Welcome back to New Dexter. Who dis?
Who dis?
We had to come up with a new Dexter because we thought a new name because we thought that the last Dexter New Blood was it, possibly. So this is what we got.
Yeah, it looked and felt kind of like the end of the whole story, right? And then the rumors coming out about the potential prequel series that we're really excited about. As we're getting ready to do this one, you found out more information. So we're like, we can't just be Dexter New Blood Who Dis, because that's particular to that series. And we have 2 new series we know of coming up. They just started Original Sin, and they're going to be doing another one.
Resurrection.
Yep.
Resurrection coming out 2025. It is in pre-production right now, so pretty excited just to learn that there's so much going on with the expanding the storyline, really. I mean, it's pretty cool that it can last this long and still be as interesting and captivating. And I mean, the cast is just killer in every series, it seems like.
Yeah.
The cast and the writers, I mean, everything that's just going to kill it, I feel like.
Wait, so was that not... That was not an intentional pun saying all the actors are killers and they're going to kill it? Like that was an accident?
That was kind of an accident, but...
I was waiting for the punchline. I was like, oh, she set it up to talk about killers and killing.
Nope. We just watched that much.
She's got a zing on the way. Here we are, zingless.
No, that's
No
your
zing.
part.
No zing to be
You're the
had.
one with the zings.
Apparently. Clearly.
Okay. But this Dexter Original Sin, we're pretty excited about. It's been a minute, and we're just pretty excited to learn that it's got just a killer cast. It's got obviously Michael C. Hall narrating. You got Patrick Gibson, an Irish man, playing younger Dexter, which is going to be. I mean, it sounds like it's pretty spot on from the trailer.
Yeah. He sounds really good so far. And also, I mean, let's not pretend otherwise. There's 3 episodes already out. We're getting caught up.
Yep.
You know, there was a lot going on that we weren't able to watch it straight away. But we're getting caught up now, and we're going to get back into it and do each one.
Yeah, I love just the aspect of digging back into these characters when they were just in their younger selves. You know, you got obviously young Deborah, young Dexter. You got Harry. I mean, Christian Slater. That's pretty exciting. You know, just yeah, I'm just super excited just to see what
Christina Milian in there. The whole cast seems awesome.
Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar. Like this is gonna be wild. I feel like.
Yeah.
And obviously, like on the production side, obviously you have like Clyde Phillips, executive producer, writer for the first season, wrote like 10 episodes of the Dexter New Blood. I mean, it's just it's cool that you see this like consistency with the writing and the producing just in the series. I feel like it's really like it's not failing like in any sense. I just feel like it's super consistent.
Yeah, it's weird almost because most of the time that things get redone or remade or revisioned and all that stuff, it's really easy to kind of like lose sight of what really made it what it was and all the nuance of what caught fire to begin with, you know? And I feel like the crew that works on the Dexter stuff, they haven't missed yet. They've just been knocking it out of the park. Yeah. I mean, apart from, all the controversy about how the original Dexter ended, there was all that. A lot of people did not like that.
Yeah, sure.
I was okay with it.
I was fine with it.
Yeah, but with bringing back New Blood and then everything we've seen so far and heard about with Original Sin, like, yeah, they're on it.
I mean, it's
the right team.
You got Jeff Lindsay, a writer. He's, written for all the Dexters. You got James Manos Jr. wrote a bunch of the first Dexter, but it just seems like it's a really, like, great team to, like, bounce ideas off of and can, like, just...
They seem keyed in.
Yeah, like, in tune and working together, which I think is, like, just really cool to see the product. Mm-hmm. And then this is going to be interesting because you've got we're in the first few episodes of this series, Original Sin, but you've got Michael Lehman. He's got 2 episodes he's directed. He did a couple of Dexter episodes in like 2011, and then he's done like True Blood, Californication, American Horror Story. So he's done a lot of cool stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does here. And then you've got one episode so far of Monica Raymond. She is an actress who's done about 9 other like directorial episodes for various shows. She's done like Endgame, FBI, Hightown. I'm not super familiar with her work, but I'm really interested to see, just what the different directors do, because I feel like Dexter's not just such a like fantastic story, but just overall and all the like fascinating characters. But I think it's very cinematic. I think that's what really drew me to the first one, is that it like really captivates the audience and like the colors and just how they tell the story.
It's become a part of how they tell the story. It's not like a lot of shows can rely on the characters and storytelling, and the camera work, is basically just pretty point at what you're looking at, right? But the Dexter series is typically always used cinematography to help the story along, to help give little clues, give little hints, or just give those little moments of reprieve or stuff. Like it would do stuff where it would go to, you'd see Dexter about to cut something, like a person, and then it cuts to like a piece of ham being sliced, Yeah. And so it gives you the idea of like, what's happening off screen. This is somewhere else now. And also give a little bit of levity to the gruesomeness of what it was,
Yeah. And I'm interested to see how that transitions into like this story of Dexter becoming a serial killer, and just to see like the start, more the early scenes, not necessarily the starting point, because we're not going that far back. I believe we're going back into, I think, mid-20s.
I don't know.
Is what I'm assuming.
Find out, I suppose. I have no idea. I don't know what years they're going for.
Yeah, we'll find out.
So, do you want to do this series for New Blood? We originally were doing watch along as well to capture any kind of reactions along the way. Do you want to do that as well? Do kind of a watch along format?
I think so.
Right. We won't keep in the whole show, obviously, but we'll leave spliced in big reactions and stuff. So.
Yep. That was good.
All right, well, let's figure it out. Let's watch this first one. It's on Paramount Plus with Showtime through Hulu, which I got through my Amazon Prime. That's the world we live in.
It took a minute for me to figure this out because I am that old.
Also, like, why is it a Showtime exclusive, but then it's exclusively on Paramount Plus with Showtime, which is a package that's given to you through Hulu, which was alerted to me through my Amazon Prime and redirected. I just don't get. I just want to watch shows.
I legit cannot figure out how the hell to watch the shows I want to watch, so I always have to go to Marsh and ask, how do I find this show? Because I give up at this point. At this point, I'm just like, well, I guess whenever it comes up on whatever streaming services I have, I'll watch something. That is my method.
Yeah. My brother's made an Excel sheet to keep track of where shit is, and I get it.
And at this point, like with Dexter, I cannot do this. We have to find it somehow. Somehow, some way.
So if you need it too to watch and follow along, go to Amazon Prime, look it up. It'll say other ways to purchase. You click that. It says go to Paramount Plus, which you go to. It redirects you to Hulu. Subscribe and add for my Showtime edition. And then it whizzed me right back. And I'm not sure if we're watching it on Hulu, Prime, or Paramount, but I have all the apps. And so it's got to come through one of them.
Yeah, this is how you're able to watch legally.
It's just that easy.
Yep, it's just 1 or 10 clicks. Who knows?
Point and click until it shows up.
Here we go.
The Showtime.
What the fuck, guys?
What?
So fucking confusing.
What?
Well, it's a Showtime, but it's on Amazon.
Yeah, I think we're watching on Amazon Prime.
I know. I believe me. I'm just so fucking confused.
Stout. Deep. Wow.
Do they get rid of the Showtime app too?
The Showtime app's gone. I think it's part of Paramount now.
Experienced death so many times.
Oh shit.
Wow, he really looks like him.
Yeah, well, it is him.
Never play out.
Oh, I thought it was the other beat. The new.
No, this is taking place at the very end of New Blood.
Okay.
Look, he's not dead.
Oh.
That sets up for resurrection.
No fucking way. No way.
Oh shit.
In drastic coma by gunshot, catastrophic blood loss.
He said, oh my god. 3, 2, 1.
Clear.
No way.
No nose recharging.
Maybe he's dead now.
We have a heartbeat. Just a apartment.
No fucking way.
Does that undo?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Holy shit. Wow.
It really is like they say.
Alert.
Light flashes before your eyes.
Well, serious again in this state of crime and sending me.
I don't know. Is he Nickel? Oh, he just said my whole life flashes before my eyes. So it's not him in a coma. It's just his life flashing before his eyes.
I'm a bird. Twice you coming down with a
We just established Dexter might be a wrestling fan, and I need that to be explored more.
Pause?
Does.
Because we're not really pausing, we're kind of just whipping through it.
Okay, dude, if you want to pause, we can pause.
Okay.
Is there something you wanted to bring up? Something you want to say to the rest of the class?
Can we just... I think we just need to pause to talk about this intro, because this threw us for a damn loop. So we start... Spoilers, by the way, so please note that. We start with Dexter not being killed. No. He's actually on his way to the ER in surgery.
Which, I mean, to be fair, if I'm going to be fair...
Be fair.
They had Dexter in the back of a fucking random car. It wasn't even truly established it was the back of a squad car. I assume it was a squad car. Certainly wasn't an ambulance. Didn't look restrained at the time, even though he was unconscious. Well, you handcuff the dead. I know that sounds mean or harsh. You handcuff the dead because you don't know anything. You don't know their state. You don't know if they're going to wake up. And at the end of the day, if you're in a shootout with a dude, you're getting cuffed.
Well, okay.
When I work DOC, we talk about it all the time. You cuffed everyone. That's
your professional background coming into play here. So anytime there's anything with a criminal, Marsh actually knows what he's talking about. But I mean that really threw me for a loop, because then we loved the last iteration of Dexter.
New Blood.
We love New Blood. We loved how it ended, as tragic as it was, and so this is kind of just giving us a pause. Right now we're just rethinking everything, and then the fade to white, right? So letting your life flash before your eyes. Is that him in this state of almost dying? Is that what this entire story is going to be? Is it? What do you think it is?
I like the idea of the intrigue of that, right? So the idea being, like, you originally thought he may be in a coma, and we're seeing what he's seeing in a coma, which is very possible, and we could possibly go back and forth that way. Mm-hmm. He did say right before we get into it was, my life flashed before my eyes. Boom! It faded into this. So this could be just. In a timeline, this could be a fraction of time. This is all in a split second as he relives his whole adult life, or realistically his whole murderous life. We're starting with the first time he killed, right? Is where we're trying to get to. I think it also leaves open the door for Dexter Resurrection. If that turns out to be a continuation of New Blood. Maybe he's raising his child to be a killer. Maybe he dies at the end of this one as the coma doesn't stick or some shit. But it leaves that open. It also leaves it open to where if we know we're getting Resurrection next year, could we have an overlap between these two things in some way? Not that you could have a cameo in the past, right? But could these two shows be going on at the same time in a way that like can bounce off each other a little bit? Could be interesting to see if that played out.
Yeah, it leaves a lot of possibilities here.
Yeah.
And I did mention to Marsh, the color is throwing me off just a little bit. We're going from really bright signage to the next scene being like very dark, like the family dinner. And so I think that is just throwing me off just a hair.
Yeah. My hunch is it's an intentional cinematic or cinematography decision. I have a feeling that as I watch the colors, because of your upsetness over it.
I'm not. It's just my eyes are trying to adjust and figure out what the hell's going on is all.
Which might actually be better than they even imagine. So I think they're just trying to tell there is a vibrant life, and that's where he's faking it the most. Every time it's bright, he's faking something, and when it's dark, it's that dark passenger, the true Dexter, right? And if it's making you a little uneasy and a little confused, then I would say that a cinematographer who maybe shot with the concept of like, I just want them to feel the difference between dark Dexter and light Dexter would probably be thrilled to hear that you're feeling a physical unease about it. Like, oh, perfect, because I'm sure he is too, right? Dexter's conflicted every moment of all this. It's always been Dexter's,
right?
You know, so
right. I do love the new intro. I like that we're seeing splashes of these new. Well, they're not new characters. They're characters in a younger version, right? I just think that was just a really nice. A nice like flash of the past.
Yeah.
In a new way.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And I'm liking this new young Dexter. I think he's doing a like terrific job.
Yeah, I think everyone's killing it right now. I'm really impressed. What's funny too is the amount of people you see who have to pick up a character that already really exists, and they have to try and play true to that character when that character is really just being true to the original actor, right? So, like you saw in Star Wars, you know, the guys are trying to play, what was Obi-Wan like? And I sound like Obi-Wan, right? Ewan McGregor did an amazing job of getting the voice right of the other actor. And the other actor did no voice, right? So the little nuances and facial expressions that the actress that brought to Deb and the actor that brings to Dexter, those little facial expressions, I'm seeing these two younger actors like pick up those things. Yeah. And that's... Deb's, it's so tough, but so awesome.
Yeah, Deb's still foul mouth. You know, Dexter's still awkward as hell. And it's really cool to see him figure out just a career path and the thought of, yeah, maybe he could have been a surgeon and really good at it. Like, it's great to see just like the different career avenues that maybe they did try to put him in before he became what he was, right?
Yeah. Well, that was it. Episode 1. We watched it. We not a lot of big, huge, shocking moments, so not a ton of reaction audio there, but episode 1, what did you think?
I thought it was a great intro into this 1991 world of Dexter and Deb, just the family dynamic, the precinct characters that we're getting introduced to. I do like the backstory for Harry and how, you know, the connection with Dexter is even stronger because of the death of the first child. That accident really took him and really made Dexter just the focal point of his life. I think for that reason is what they're trying to say.
Bill?
Yeah, what'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I think casting was awesome. I like that it was so funny in the first run of Dexter when they did a flashback. It was Dexter with a wig. So it was Dexter with a wig with long hair for no reason. So I like that they leaned into that and they actually explain the story of how he got his hair cut eventually. Like his hair was cut for this job. So that's why every flashback had him in short hair. He didn't have the job yet. I thought that was funny. As much as like, I mean, we even joked about it when we first found out they were going to do it. My first thought was, let Michael C. Hall play himself 20 years earlier. Just put a wig on him. It's hysterical. But they did a really good job with all that. Deb, I thought they did an awesome job casting her. They got whoever's playing Batista. It's the same face.
the same goatee.
So crazy.
Same goatee.
Masuka, the weird thing about Masuka is that he's always been kind of a goof and he was always kind of perverted. But our initial introduction to him, where he's at the job fair on campus, was a bit much. He was very predatorial. He was voyeuristic, taking pictures of girls as they walk by. I didn't love. And as much as it's all like kind of funny, it was also kind of crossing a line. And then they just had him like completely deflecting Dexter, like, get the fuck out of here, you're cock blocking me, was way out of line. I mean, he is there doing a job. He's working. He was literally he was the face of Miami Metro for that, all intents and purposes. Right. And so to say that this is how we had ourselves represented, I mean, yeah, they're trying to paint Masuka, but it really didn't make me like his character at all, and I really didn't think it was necessary to show him as that big of a fuck up. But he could have been teasy and not been like that.
Right, but also, sign of the times, right? 90s, early 90s, like, I mean, I could also take that side of it, where it's like, oh yeah, okay, well...
Yes and no, but realistically, by the time that like Howard Stern and all that stuff started really kicking off, I mean, we're really talking about mid to late 90s, and that's taking place early 90s.
Yeah.
So even then, I'm like, I don't know. I just didn't think they needed to do that with him.
Well, hopefully it'll progress into
just move on.
Yeah, less slimy Masuka, but...
Masuka was really cool when he went into the office. They had the laugh and all that, and he was doing the same, like, I'm going to be your mentor kind of attitude. Yep. Which is true to character.
Yeah. I thought it was a great intro. Great intro into this world. I'm interested to see, like, how the different directors are gonna take just the style, because, like I said, I really noticed like the super bright scenes versus not, and I get the flashback aspect of it. How you're jumping into like the 70s and then back into the 90s. But I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see the next couple episodes, maybe at a slower pace. Like, I felt like the cutaways were a little bit fast in a sense, but I don't know.
I didn't get that feeling at all, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think the transitions were awesome. Just like we even said at the top, the amount of stuff they did visually with the cameras, I think, was incredible. Like a lot of the cuts, a lot of the fades into the next scene. It's really cool. Visually, it's a stunning show to watch.
Yeah, it's really consistent too with the Deb Dexter dynamic of he always just misses out on her, right? And her always feeling like she's, oh, you're not thinking about me, you don't care about me, Dex. So that's kind of a cool way to start this series.
Yeah.
Just that, this is going to continue, and she's going to continue to feel so much resentment towards Dex, and the relationship that he has, right? That with Harry that she doesn't have. So,
do you think that they have a vision of length with this? Like, do you think that they want to do 8 years? Like, because also you even brought up the beginning of Dexter. He talks about how this is like his 7th year, or he's already been there 7 years.
Yeah, I remember when Dexter went to court, he says, he's asked, how long have you been with the department? And I believe he says about 7 years. And so I want to say this is, prior. So Dexter could be, late 20s.
So do we think that there's theoretically the feeling that they could get at least 7 years, or do you think they could get even more? Because realistically, one season doesn't have to be 1 year.
Right.
But if I remember correctly, Dexter's the original run, each season kind of was 1 year, was it not? Because it was always like at the beginning of each season, it was always like summer had just passed or whatever, and it was always like, I feel like it went calendar years.
I don't know enough about this series as to what their long-term thought is. Like, I haven't read.
That's why I asked you about the first one. Wasn't each season of the original one kind of a calendar year?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh. So I wonder if they think that they'll get 7 full seasons out of it. If they're even trying to get 7 seasons out of it, do they want each season to be a year, or is it each season going to be his first big kill or something, and that could actually be 1 or 2 in 1 year? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just kind of interesting. I wonder where it's going to go, and I wonder they're plotting it out in a way that goes back to the original formula in a really, really nice way. That I think they really could get a lot of years out of it. How many years did they get out of the first season, first series?
It's 8 seasons.
So theoretically, I mean, if you only got 8 seasons out of the success of the first one, I say only, that's incredible run, then they could very well think a good 7 years is on the table, if not more. Mm-hmm. It's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. They could. I don't know if they want to. Like, just, I'm trying to think of, like, how long they want this story to last. Yeah.
Yeah. And so far, they have not introduced anybody that we don't like. Like,
No.
There's no villains yet, right? There's no, like, asshole in the department. There's no...
No, just the nurse. I mean, just the people, obviously, that are the victims.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Right?
Just the one nurse. But I just feel like that even in the first series and in the other one, there was always somebody else that was just, like, a thorn in their side.
Ugh.
And we haven't got anywhere near that yet, right? Which is also fine. You don't want to do
Hey,
that.
if they bring in a young Dokes, I would love it. Oh my God, I want them to bring in a young Dokes so bad.
No, fuck Dokes.
Ugh, Dokes is the best.
Motherfucker.
Oh, that's a tall order. Someone to play Dokes. I mean, they're all tall orders, but wow.
But then again, I mean, what if Dokes doesn't come in until a few seasons in? You know what I mean? What if he doesn't come in until year 6 or 7? You know what I mean? Like, what if they hold up on him and you have a pre-Dokes? And then maybe even, you know, he eventually gets rid of that guy, and then Dokes comes in, he goes, this guy's going to be a problem. And then we all go, kee-hee.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities here. Yeah. I'm liking Sarah Michelle Gellar. I like, you know, a positive woman there next to Masuka to hopefully whip him into shape and make him less slimy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's going to be cool. Hopefully she'll be the mentor. And yeah, I'm curious where it's going to go.
Yes. That was episode 1. Anything else about it? You had something you had mentioned before to me about Harry, that they were digging into Harry's story a little bit.
Yeah, I like the backstory of Harry's relationship, the loss of his child, and just how he has to fight with himself to accept what Dexter, you know, truly feels, what he understands he is, right, and how to come to terms with that, and how to kind of make that okay in his mind as law enforcement, really, aside from just a human, and how he tries to instill that in Dexter as you can't take this back once you kill someone. Just the private fight he has with himself, and how that stress does get to him, because clearly it leads to him being in the hospital. So yeah, I'm really interested in where it's going to go exactly, and just how each character is developing. Like, I think is really just the strong points, like the family, the family dynamic, and how those characters each grow, together and apart, really.
And I like that they even kind of ended episode 1. Here's the goofy part about this particular series is, you know, this does not feel like let's film a pilot and see if someone will pick it up. This feels like we pitched a show and we're given a season, right? They still made episode 1 almost like it was a standalone, right? Like it also ended happily ever after as a way that you could just go from that into Dexter.
I don't know. Well,
there's those teases of, I kept these earrings and that turns out to be a huge mistake later on, right? And we know that hasn't come back up. Right. There was Harry saying, what'd you do to the body? And then saying, no one will ever find it. What did you do to the body? Fed in the gators. There's nothing even left. You know for a fact those pieces are coming up. Those pieces are going to come up. That's going to be probably his first case, and he's going to have to try and figure out how to make a cover up? How do I get out of it? Or is he going to frame someone with those earrings? Who finds those earrings and where? That's going to come up. So I'm really excited to get into that part of the story too. And I wonder how much of the season is going to be the story of him getting out of his first kill, you know?
I mean, I think that's what I always liked about Dexter. There's always like a beginning, middle, and end to every episode. It's not like you're leaving me hanging, really, or it's leave me one to see the rest, but not like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you never quite know what's going on. Yeah,
like I'm not completely lost.
Yeah, it always feels like, you know, the story within the story is always there, and I like that too. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited about this. Let's get into episode 2. I will say, for whatever it's worth, right now we're going to go ahead and end this episode. We'll have episode 1 up. We're going to be recording 3 episodes pretty quick together. They probably are not going to be released on the same day, but they're probably going to be released within the same week. But once we are caught up on the show, we're going to be staying caught up on the show and be putting out more weekly regularly. So
yeah, let's do it. Yep.
Did we have an out on the last one? We had to have had an out. We got to do something kitschy on the way out.
Oh God, I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Didn't you always have like a horrible pun?
I had a horrible death pun.
You
some
had
sort
like
of kill or take a stab at it. Or some sort of little slice out of it. It's alright, it's only episode 1. And if you know us, you know we are really bad at episode 1s. So by episode 2, I'm sure we'll have it figured out.